Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shelly Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the LD Micro main event in Bel Air, California, 2014. I have Michael Wolfe. I call him Mike. AeroGrow International, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is AERO. Mike, welcome to SNNLive.
Shelly, hi. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. Let's get a short overview of the company.
AeroGrow is actually about a 10-year-old business that began in the early 2000s, spent about 4 years developing a hydroponic growing device. You can grow incredible plants, flowers, really grow anything as our moniker, using hydroponic technology, meaning you grow only in water and you grow in air. You have no soil whatsoever involved. It's an amazing product. It went to market in the mid to late 2000s, grew rapidly, hit some trouble, frankly, during the economic downturn of 2008. New management was brought in. We had to kind of reposition the company. We did all of that. We cut our overhead. We actually cut sales. We got sales down as low as $7 million, but began becoming profitable on an EBITDA basis. All of that caught the attention of the Scott's Miracle-Gro company, which made an investment in us about 18 months ago, and that's changed everything. We're now the Miracle-Gro Aero Garden. We have access to a lot of retail distribution you can imagine through that. They've helped us tremendously with R&D, with supply chain, logistics, distribution, everything. So it's really been what I've called a transformational event for the company.
Whoa.
Yeah, lots gone on with AeroGrow.
I mean, I've known AeroGrow, I've known of the company for years, but this is an all-new story, seemingly.
It is. It really is an all-new story, and the product sold great back. Sales for the company got to $40 million in the year 2008. Unfortunately, the company lost nearly $10 million doing that. Yeah, right. Well, it was one of those. So we really had to tighten up a lot of things like supply chain, like margins. And I think we've done all that now. And now with the backing and the help of Scott's, I don't know how far we can go, but we're pretty excited about the story we have.
Couple questions. So we're talking about consumer products, we're talking about industrial, commercial, because, you know, whenever I hear the word grow, you know what I'm thinking in this market, because, you know, the cannabis industry is going crazy. I mean, has that affected your sales in any way? But I mean, I have a lot of questions.
Well, you asked several there.
I'm sorry.
Let's bifurcate them and take them one at a time.
Okay.
In terms of who we sell to, this is a consumer product. You're exactly right. When we talk about a lot of hydroponic devices, they're unwieldy and they're big and they're lights like we have here, and they're frankly hard to use. What our device does is it's consolidated all of that into a very simple to use, very consumer friendly, very countertop device. You simply push a couple of buttons, you add water, and from there the device takes over and regulates how much light you need, how much nutrients you need, how often you need to add water, all that, and it walks you through it. It really is a set it and forget it kind of a device. So that's what the product is. It's designed for the consumer marketplace. We have products ranging from as small as a little 3-pod device that you can buy for under $50 at Walmart to as elaborate as a $300 device that uses LED lighting systems and just grows absolutely abundantly. So that's what the product is. I think the second question you kind of got to is, what's our role in the cannabis industry and all that kind of thing? And our position is that the Aero Garden was made for consumers. It's made for the mainstream consumer market, people who love to cook, who love to have fresh herbs and vegetables and flowers in their house, and that's who we're selling to. You know, I always tell people, if we advocated that we were doing that kind of thing, we simply wouldn't be in the Costco's and the Walmarts of the world that we're in. I think we have to be mainstream, and that's important to us. So we have focused on that. It's working well for us. Sales last quarter for us were up 153%, so our strategy seems to be working pretty well. But beyond that, our tagline is, you can grow anything. And you really can. And when you run a company, as I do, that probably grows anything better than you can anywhere else, right here inside your house, you get this question all the time. And if people want to use it for that, that's their prerogative. But
it's not in your instruction manual.
It's not in our instruction manual. It's not.
Here's my question. 2014 is just virtually over. I'm sure, as a retail product, you had a, big booming fourth quarter, no question about it. Let's say that's over. Let's look forward. Where does 2015 take AeroGrow?
Well, we're in the midst of Christmas season 2014 still. So we have a lot of tests out right now. I've been talking about 3 different categories of distribution. One is our own direct-to-consumer initiatives. Sales are great there. We'll continue to grow that, and it'll be great.
E-commerce, actually.
Our e-commerce platform. The second is more general e-commerce. Amazon, Costco.com, Walmart.com. Those guys are going incredibly well. Very, very, very strong. Amazon, as a matter of fact, will be featuring one of our products as the deal of the day on December 14th, 2 Sundays from now. So that's a big deal for us. Big deal for us. Then the third category becomes brick and mortar retail, more traditional retail. The company was very, very successful with that back in the 2007-2008 period. We're just now starting to test that again. And it's too early, I don't know. The answer to how well that goes will define a lot of where we go next. Basically, though, I think we're going to see further expansion into those test categories we have, and then going into new channels completely, like housewares, TV, QVC, things like that. I really want to look at international markets. I think this product's a natural for the international. So we think there's a lot of ways we're going to grow this in 2015 and well beyond.
So you have to keep an eye on CapEx because, you could have a hockey stick on your hands.
We do. We absolutely do. And we really do keep an eye on that whole thing. I think the good news is the technology we've invested in can take us a long ways. We don't need to invest in technology to grow gardens. We need to invest a little bit in new form factors that look good and have nice finishes to them. But I'm not too worried about our CapEx. I think there's a lot of growth opportunity available to us so long as the consumer accepts this thing. I might add too that a far bigger concern I have than CapEx is media and marketing awareness. We have got to get consumers knowing that they, not only what an indoor garden is, but that they need one.
What's your background?
I came to AeroGrow. I began I took over the CEO chair in April of 2011, and I had worked with the company before that on a consulting basis. But fundamentally, I'm a Colorado guy. I'm a University of Colorado kid, University of Denver MBA. I have built a couple of direct response companies. My first business I helped build was a data mining business before data mining really had a name, and that was actually purchased by EDS back in the early 90s. I tell people Ross Perot bought my house for me.
Out of Texas.
Exactly. And then from there we formed a company called Concepts Direct, which became a multi-title catalog business, and that grew from nothing to nearly 90 million in sales in just 5 years.
But now you're really having fun.
Yeah, this is really fun. And having built a couple pretty successful companies, I really do think this one has a chance to be pretty interesting. This has a product that's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a website.
www.aerogarden.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Wolfe, AeroGrow International Inc., publicly traded company, and the symbol is AERO, A-E-R-O. Let me repeat, A-E-R-O. I'm Shelley Crabb. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the LD Micro main event in Bel Air, California, 2014. Mike, what a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks, Shelley. It was a pleasure indeed.